Everybody, let me straighten myself up, straighten myself out. What's up, everybody? Tapping in. Let's talk about it, right? Your first 50,000. This is a question that I get asked about a lot. So I want to help you guys be able to get your first $50,000 in funding, whether it's on the personal side or on the business, right? But here it is. Here's the secret. We will have to start on the personal side. And so let's break down this strategy. Let's break this down. And I'm talking about if you're absolutely at zero, you have absolutely no credit, right? And you want to build. Okay. So even if you're starting off in your credit journey, what you want to do, of course, is build out your personal credit profile. You do this by starting off with getting at least, I would say, at least 6 positive trade lines on your personal credit report. Now, these initial ones aren't going to be powerful. They're going to be low limits, right? It may be a couple of hundred, maybe 1,000, maybe 5,000. But the point here is to grow them, right? So here's a couple of cards that you can use for your first initial credit cards. You can use the Chase Rise card. Is a brand new card exclusively provided to help people grow their credit. Another thing, another type of card that you can use is a secured card, right? You can always put a deposit down with one of your banks with like $100 or $500 in order to secure one of your credit cards. Another thing that you could do is start a pledge loan. A pledge loan, Navy Federal has it, DCU has it. The great thing about a pledge loan is that you will open an account, deposit funds into that account, and then whatever money is whatever money you give them into that particular shared savings account will then become your loan, right? It's an amazing way to build up credit, and it's an amazing way to build a positive relationship with that particular bank. Okay. Another Another account that you can use is called Credit Strong. Now, the dope thing about Credit Strong is that they offer a loan product for both your personal and your business credit. Right now, since we're starting from scratch, we're talking about building up your personal credit. So you can go to Credit Strong, you can get a personal loan all the way up to $10,000, stretch it out over 5 years, and make monthly payments towards that $10,000. Now, the great thing about this is that when you're building out your profile, you do want to get higher limits, $5,000 and above, so that that can transition over to business credit, right? This is called building out comparable credit. Because as you go and build your relationships with banks, banks typically follow each other. If one bank gives you 5 to 10,000, the other banks are more than likely going to give you the same. The same also goes for if you have 20,000 and above, right? As your credit limit increases, other banks will also begin to give you higher credit limits. Same thing, unfortunately, happens when your credit limits are getting slashed. If one bank starts to slash, other banks may start to slash as well. So keep that in mind, right? So now we're at about 4 accounts. All right. Now, 2 more accounts that you can use to build up this personal credit profile is if you're a student, right? Or if you're 25 years or younger with a college email, my name at edu.com, right? Or University of Maryland.edu, right? You're able to qualify for student credit cards. One student credit card is the Discover It student credit card. Also, Capital One has like the Capital One Platinum unsecured credit card, which just about anybody can qualify for, right? And a nice thing about the Capital One Platinum credit card is that it will elevate or graduate to another card, which is the Quicksilver, as your credit profile improves, right? So you have those 5 cards. Now, here's the cool thing, right? With the card like the Chase Rise, After having, you're going to graduate into the Chase Freedom. This is dope because if you're familiar with the 524 rule, 524 rule says that their Chase is not going to issue you any new credit cards if you get more than 5 credit cards in 24 months. So the great thing about the Rise card is that it gets you into the Chase ecosystem and it'll graduate to the Chase Freedom all without impacting your 524. And it gets you into the door of start of beginning to earn those Chase credit card points, right? Of course, when they upgrade you to a Chase Freedom, that means they're also going to give you a credit limit increase. Same thing can happen with the the Capital One Platinum card. The Platinum card, after 6 to 12 months of continuous use, can also take you from just their like $200-300 credit limit up to over $1,000 credit limit. Plus, you're going to start earning cash back with like the Capital One Quicksilver card, right? Now, we understand that Capital One is stingy. We know this, okay? Work with me here. These are stepping stones, right? We got to work our way up to this point, okay? The next thing you're going to do is get with your credit union. Now, if you're able to access Navy Federal, whether it's through a friend or a family member that was part of the military, you can absolutely get into Navy Federal, get a pledge loan with them, and start building that relationship. The great thing about Navy Federal is that more than likely that will be one of your first 5-digit credit cards. Okay. A lot of times Navy Federal will often give you as much as $20 or even $25,000 on the personal side, as long as you followed the previous steps and built out that personal credit profile the way that we discussed in this video, right? So from there, what do you do with that relationship? Well, two things. You can even apply for another Navy credit card, right? You get 2 of them. The great thing about Navy Federal is that they'll allow you to have up to $80,000 in revolving lines of credit, right? Another card you can go for once your credit profile is built out in this way is the American Express. Now, there's a couple of entry-level cards that American Express has. They have the Blue, they have the Blue Cash, the Blue Plus, and they have the American Express Everyday card, right? These are the entry-level cards. Now, with some of these, they can start off as low as $2,000. From personal experience, even if you start off with a $2,000 Amex card, you don't need to stress about it, because within the first 3 months, you can have them triple whatever that starting balance is. Speaking from experience, I started with the Amex Everyday card. That elevated to the Everyday Preferred. And over the course of time, within the first 3 months, I went from 2,000 to 6,000. 6 months after that, I went from 6,000 to 7,500. And then after having the card for about 4 years, it went from 2,000 all the way up to $22,000. Now, it took me that long to get up to 10x my credit limit, because I did not ask for a credit limit increase for a number of years. Here's the secret. As you're building up, going through this journey, every 30 to 91 days, you're going to want to ask for a credit limit increase, right? Don't skip that, okay? Some of these cards, it may end up being a hard pull. If it's a soft pull, go ahead and ask for that credit limit increase every 3 to 6 months. I think I said 31 to 91 days. My bad. It's actually every month to 6 months. Just ask for a credit limit increase. With American Express, they'll give you a credit limit increase every 3 months. So will Navy Federal. I've heard mixed things. Sometimes they want you to wait a full 6 months, but between 3 and 6 months, they'll give you a credit limit increase, right? Now through that process, over, I would say, a course of 6 to 18 months, you would have built out a credit profile from zero to accessing your first 50,000 in credit. That's between Credit Strong, building with Capital One, building with Navy Federal, building with Chase, building with American Express. You can definitely get $10,000 in available credit from each of those institutions. Now, what that's going to do is that will put you in position so that you can begin tiptoeing your way over to the business side. Now, when we're talking about the business side, I would always say once you're already in the American Express family, go ahead and start with American Express, because American Express will actually do a soft pull to issue you a business charge card or a business credit card. Just like on the personal side, they have a blue series, the business blue. They have the business blue plus and the business blue cash on the business side as well. Now, with those, depending on your profile, on the business side, they'll start you off with 2,000, but I've also seen them start off people with a $10,000 credit limit, right? So that's how you can begin your journey of building out and getting access to your first $50,000 in available credit, your first $50,000 in funding. Let me know if you guys had any additional questions, comments, feedback. Let me know how your journey has been throughout the credit world and getting access to funding, where you are in your particular journey. We'd love to hear about it. We'd love to share information and data points, right? As always, definitely check out the links in the description below. If you're interested in getting more funding for yourself or for your business, definitely book a 30-minute consultation where we can go over a plan and see where you are and develop and see where you want to go. Appreciate everybody for tapping in. Have a great one. Be safe wherever you are. Peace.